And now we're talking, boys.
Caitlin Clark. I didn't know a lot about her. Like, I knew who she was, obviously, but just this past year.
She is the only reason I watch basketball.
Oh, no.
No.
Women's basketball.
Truly.
Women's basketball.
No, basketball.
Truly.
I never
Facts.
watched the NBA before.
Really?
I swear.
I, actually tune into Caitlin Clark now. It's so dope. I mean, the Indiana Fever, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then I remember Iowa.
No one knew what the Indiana Fever was
No
a
one
year
knew.
ago.
No
No, and
one
it doesn't
had any
matter. I
idea.
understand there's some OGs out there that are.
Let's talk about Caitlin Clark. Honestly, she's become the reason I watch basketball now. I didn't know much about her before, but after just this past year, I'm all in. I mean, I never cared about the NBA before, but now I'm tuning in to watch Clark and the Indiana Fever. And let's be real, a year ago, no one even knew what the Indiana Fever was. But now, things have totally changed. Despite her growing fame and undeniable talent, Caitlin Clark is making it clear that she won't be used as a publicity stunt. That's why
The first time the NCAA game was on ABC was last year. So in order to give something a chance to succeed, don't bury it in NFL Sundays.
Whenever you think of Angel Reese, people often mention Caitlin Clark. You said in interviews, there's no beef, but the media keeps going on. So how do you feel about that situation?
Caitlin is an amazing player, and I've always thought she was an amazing player. We've been playing each other since high school. So I think it's really just the fans, her fans, the Iowa fans, now the Indiana fans that are they ride for her. And I respect that respectfully.
compete in the NBA All-Star Weekend's three-point contest. But why is Clark stepping back from the spotlight? And how does she feel about the NBA potentially using her to promote the event? Before we dive in, if you're enjoying this WNBA content, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Let's go further back.
Okay, how far can you go? Steph Curry range is no problem.
Yeah, no problem.
Big conversations in basketball lately is about Caitlin Clark's impact on the game, especially in relation to Team USA and the upcoming Paris Olympics. While some commentators focus on her place in the NBA versus WNBA debate, others are bringing in broader narratives around race and social issues, which aren't even about her as a player. Meanwhile, one of the latest debates revolves around the NBA's three-point contest. Caitlin Clark has officially announced that she won't be competing in the NBA versus WNBA shootout at next month's NBA All-Star Weekend. Instead, she's choosing to make her three-point contest debut at the WNBA All-Star Game in July. Her representatives confirmed the decision, emphasizing that she wants her first three-point contest to happen in the WNBA. This move adds an interesting twist, especially considering last year's incredible showdown between Steph Curry and Sabrina Ionescu. Curry narrowly edged out Ionescu in a thrilling shootout, but Clark's choice to debut in the WNBA All-Star Game shows just how focused she is on growing the women's game. Her decision might have been unexpected by some, but Caitlin Clark has always been about doing things on her terms. The three-point contest took place at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis, but there's still some uncertainty surrounding whether Sabrina Ionescu will participate in this year's NBA All-Star Weekend festivities. The New York Liberty star has not publicly confirmed her involvement, but she is currently competing in *Unrivaled, the newly launched professional women's 3x3 basketball league. During a recent media session, Ionescu acknowledged that she will miss some games this season due to her other commitments. She had to sit out of Phantoms games last week while attending the NBA Paris Games and has confirmed she'll be in the Bay Area for NBA All-Star Weekend. On the WNBA front, the league's All-Star Weekend will take place at Gainbridge Fieldhouse in Indianapolis, home of the Indiana Fever and the NBA's Indiana Pacers, on July 18th and 19th. As for Caitlin Clark, the narrative around her isn't just that she moves the needle, she is the needle. Last season, Clark and the Indiana Fever accounted for a staggering 45% of the WNBA's total broadcast value, generating an economic impact of $36 million. Her presence alone draws attention, and she knows exactly where to place her value. While I get where Clark's coming from in prioritizing her league and its growth, I couldn't help but feel a little let down that she didn't address the high-profile three-point contest showdown between Ionescu and Curry. The event drew massive attention and became the most-watched NBA All-Star Saturday night event in 4 years. But Clark's main focus remains on the WNBA and the larger conversation around it. Props to Stephen A. Smith for acknowledging the Caitlin Clark effect, but let's be honest, the receipts are there. It's incredible to see how many people were hesitant to recognize it. If there's a reason other than her race for that hesitation, let me hear it. But seriously, how could anyone not have seen this coming? People saw it unfold, and yet so many chose to ignore it. Now, looking back with the benefit of hindsight, the impact is undeniable. Caitlin Clark has been a game changer. She made waves. And if you're still doubting her influence, just consider how quickly people bring up Angel Reese in every conversation about Clark. There's no denying the impact Caitlin Clark has had on the world of basketball. Yet, despite her undeniable success, some people still try to downplay her influence. They'll say things like, "She's too loud," or "That's not how we should represent the game." But the truth is, Clark's achievements have sparked conversations about women's basketball in ways that haven't been seen before. However, while she's breaking records and earning praise on the court, Clark has also found herself at the center of debates that extend far beyond sports. It's unfortunate, but it's also a reality she has had to face. Despite her best efforts to stay out of the social media firestorms, her fame, especially as a white athlete, has made her a target in today's cultural battles. Her performance on the court has earned her both admiration and, unfortunately, scrutiny. One of the most notable moments of this scrutiny came when she wasn't selected for a particular roster, sparking yet another wave of debate. Caitlin Clark, a standout player on the USA Basketball Olympic roster, is finally addressing the spotlight surrounding her. Despite keeping a relatively low profile on social media, Clark has been thrust into divisive debates, with her name being used to fuel hate, including racism and misogyny. She's now speaking out against the way her name is being weaponized for harmful agendas. "It's disappointing," Clark said. "Everyone deserves respect, and women in our league deserve that respect, too. My name should not be used to promote hate or discrimination.